shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
It's beginning to feel a little more comfortable out there. Our monkey meter's sitting at comfy right now. I'll show you how long it will stay there.
A JetBlue flight makes an emergency landing at RDU. How long the runway was closed overnight.
Breaking news, a woman has life-threatening injuries after shooting in Durham. Investigators were on the scene for nearly 6 hours. A lot to tell you about here on this Wednesday morning. This week is kind of flying by, and I even worked Monday. Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. That's what a holiday Monday will do for a lot of folks out there. Yeah, even if you do work. Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now as we reach midweek. We are reaching some really comfortable temperatures out there.
Yeah, we're headed this way with our temperatures and with our dew point. And of course, the dew point's a measure of moisture in the atmosphere. So the humidity is dropping, and so are the temperatures. It's a comfortable 62 when you head out the door. Our winds are calm. This is a live look at Sanford this morning. Just nice and quiet out there. When I walked in, the moon was hanging there, just a quarter moon, looking beautiful. So we have the top of the tower lit in blue for clear skies this morning right here in our backyard. We're in the 50s right now in Roxborough and South Hill, 62 in Durham and Raleigh, 65 in Fayetteville. We will see more widespread 50s over the next few mornings. So we're going to see a nice drop in our temperature. A comfortable afternoon. Lunchtime temperature right around 80, and we'll climb into the mid 80s. Right now, we really don't have much rain in our forecast all the way through the weekend.
Love it, Elizabeth. Thank you. We're working to find out why a JetBlue flight was diverted to RDU. The plane had to make an emergency landing late last night. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from RDU. And Kelsey, we know that fortunately no passengers were injured.
Renee, and we also were able to confirm within the last hour that the runway where that plane landed has reopened. Let's give you a look now at video of when that plane made an emergency landing just around 11 o'clock last night. We're working to learn why the flight was diverted here for the landing. Now, RDU says no one was injured, so now we're working to get an update on where those passengers could be right now. We did reach out to JetBlue to see if they could confirm the original destination for that flight, but we're still waiting to hear back. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live at RDU.
Now, hours before that JetBlue flight was diverted, another plane had to make an emergency landing at RDU. They diverted to RDU after discovering the nose gear on their plane wasn't working. Their emergency landing prompted other flights to be diverted and delayed. A husband and a wife, along with their twin daughters, were on that Piper PA-32 plane, along with their 4 dogs. The pilot's a retired Army colonel from Fuquay-Varina. The family was flying from the Florida Keys to Virginia. This is the second small plane to have issues landing at RDU in the past 2 months. In April, a small plane carrying a UNC doctor and pilot bounced on the runway hard and crashed.
Breaking news, a woman is seriously hurt after shooting in Durham. This happened less than a mile from where a man was shot last week. Nick Perlin joins us from Guest Road in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
In just the last week, 2 shootings have happened on this stretch of Guest Road. The latest one happening right here behind me as police spent most of the morning investigating around this convenience store. Now take a look at this video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker, and you're going to see a jarring amount of evidence markers scattered throughout the street. Those orange cones that you see are usually marking shell casings that were left behind after someone fires their gun. You can actually see an investigator shining a flashlight on one of those evidence markers. We're told from Durham police that at around 10:30 Tuesday night, a 21-year-old was shot. She took herself to the hospital, and we're told she has serious injuries. We're still trying to get more information on that woman's condition and if police know who shot her. In Durham, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Police in Garner are trying to find a man who they say shot a 23-year-old woman. The shooting happened on Avery Street about 9 o'clock last night. Police say the man shot the woman in the arm, and they say he then jumped into a car that was driven away by another person. The woman was taken to the hospital. We're working to learn how she's doing.
Breaking news, police in Wilson's Mills are working to make an arrest after an attempted armed robbery. Officers responded to a home on Maple Tree Lane around 1:40 this morning. That's off Powhatan Road. Police say 2 people broke into the home. A person who lives there was assaulted with a weapon. The people who broke in ran off without stealing anything. We're working to learn the condition of the person who was assaulted.
A heartbreaking update to a Garner crash that killed 2 young parents. We now know their 8-year-old son also did not survive. WRAL's Laura Levine joins us now this morning. Laura, we know that he will become an organ donor.
Jeff, we are back at the scene here on US 70 and New Rand Road with this very sad update. The family of Miles Campbell say he was declared brain dead last night. He will become an organ donor, saving more lives. The family saying this, they're sure, is what his parents would have wanted. I want you to take a look at this video now where you can see the love and support from the community. This is at a vigil yesterday with Garner Baseball Incorporated where games were delayed to pray for the family. Then there was a second vigil at Snap Kick Martial Arts. This is another place where Miles spent a lot of his time taking those martial art classes. The founder of Snap Kicks shared a few words.
Thank you for the time that we have. Although it was short, God, they did some great things with that life.
Taking a look now at your screen, the family of the Campbells shared this statement. Family and friends from both sides of the family want to thank everyone for their prayers, thoughts, and tears through this traumatic time. Susie and Miles were loved beyond what can be expressed in words, and they will be missed tremendously. Garner police say more charges are expected for the driver, the impaired driver in this case, Jordan Porter. We will give you that update once we have it. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Garner.
A traffic change for drivers who use I-440 in Raleigh. At midnight, crews closed the on-ramp from Hillsborough Street onto I-440. That ramp will stay closed for at least 3 months. You'll now have to take Hillsborough to Blue Ridge Road and then Wade Avenue to get onto 440 East. Just follow the detour signs.
Today, the jury in former President Donald Trump's hush money trial will begin their deliberations. The trial will resume at 10 o'clock this morning. The defense and prosecution both wrapped up their closing arguments yesterday. In his closing statement, Trump's lead lawyer tried to paint key defense witness Michael Cohen as a liar. He said the prosecution's case failed to meet the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Prosecutors argue the former president falsified business records to cover up what was essentially an illegal campaign contribution to help him get elected.
The Israeli strike on a displacement camp in Rafah may have been carried out using munitions made in the U.S. That's according to explosive weapons experts who viewed video obtained by CNN. The experts say the strike appears to have used a small diameter bomb manufactured by Boeing. At least 45 people died and more than 200 others were hurt in the strike. President Biden says he is not altering his policy toward Israel. That suggests the Rafah strike did not cross a red line that would force changes in American support.
Protesters in Raleigh voiced their outrage and heartache after that deadly airstrike in Gaza. Demonstrators gathered downtown yesterday, again demanding a ceasefire.
I think that it is critical in times like this that we take to the streets at every opportunity that we can to send our message. Biden hears us loud and clear. We know how he was talking. We know what rhetoric he was using at the beginning of this war. He's made almost a complete 360.
People who went to that protest say that's why they will continue to make sure their voices are heard.
Scary moments for passengers on a Spirit Airlines flight when just 10 minutes into the flight, the pilot tells them to prepare for an emergency water landing.
I'm thinking that we're landing on water, but we just made it by the skin of our teeth on land.
A passenger describes what he says was complete panic on the plane.
And a warning about mosquitoes as we head into the summer months. The alarming rise in cases of dengue fever.
And this is a live look at Clinton. The rest of the week is going to feel really nice with temperatures cooling down some. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will join us after the break with a look at today's forecast.
WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:42. It's a nice morning out there, feeling comfortable. Our dew point is nice and low, so not very sticky out there this morning. We take a live look at Chapel Hill. Skies are clear. Pretty stars and moon out there if you're headed out sometime soon. And as I said, temperatures are feeling comfortable. 59 in South Hill. It's 63 in Rocky Mount, 67 in Goldsboro, 65 in Fayetteville, 63 in Southern Pines. We're going to see even cooler temperatures for the next several mornings. landings. At the bus stop this morning, very comfortable temperatures in the low 60s. At lunchtime, as the kids are headed out on the playground, we'll see a temperature around 80 degrees, and we will climb into the mid 80s. We are looking at dry conditions all the way into the weekend, but it just feels more and more comfortable as the week wears on. I'll show you what it will feel like through the weekend coming up.
People in East Texas are working to clean up downed trees and power lines after another line of severe storms. This is video from about 100 miles southeast of Dallas. Strong winds toppled trees. Many of them fell across roads and onto homes. Some people were trapped inside their houses. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported.
We're hearing from passengers of a Spirit Airlines flight that almost had to make a water landing in Jamaica after an apparent mechanical problem. The plane had just taken off Sunday, heading to Fort Lauderdale, when it suddenly reversed course and headed back to the airport in Montego Bay. Before landing safely on the tarmac, the pilot told passengers to prepare for an emergency water landing. One passenger says people started to panic as they were told to put on life vests.
Everybody on the plane was crying, screaming, praying. It was just a horrible moment.
After the plane landed, passengers boarded a new plane to take them to Fort Lauderdale. This incident comes as major issues with planes keep making headlines, leaving a lot of travelers uneasy.
An investigation will continue this morning in Youngstown, Ohio, after a gas leak caused the first floor of a building there to explode. A blast happened just before 3 yesterday afternoon, blowing out the bottom floor of a 13-story building. At least 7 people were hurt. One person is in critical condition. People have been asked to avoid that area as the investigation continues.
2 women are accusing an NFL kicker of sexual assault. Brandon McManus faces the accusations in a lawsuit filed in Florida. The women say the assault happened on a Jacksonville Jaguars team flight to London in September. They were working as flight attendants. McManus denies the allegations. He is now a member of the Washington Commanders. The team says it is taking the allegations seriously.
An Ohio billionaire is starting a new expedition to the Titanic wreck site. This comes after the deadly submersible implosion last June. Real estate investor Larry Connor says he's planning to build a sub with Triton Submarines CEO Patrick Leahy. They want to design one that can make underwater trips to see the Titanic shipwreck starting in 2026. A Wall Street Journal report says Connor came up with the idea just days after a submersible from Ocean Gate imploded last year, killing 5 people. Connor says he hopes to show the world the trips are safe.
Tonight, families can learn more about the dangers of teen vaping. The state health department is hosting a fireside chat in town hall. Youth advocates and health experts will discuss how parents can identify when their child is vaping, how to talk to them about quitting, and where to get more information. It will be from 6 to 7 tonight and streamed on the state DHHS Facebook, X, and YouTube accounts.
Health experts are warning about a new threat from mosquitoes as we approach summer. Doctors say they're seeing an alarming rise in cases of dengue fever. The sickness is also known as break bone fever because of the pain it causes. Millions have come down with it in severe outbreaks in Brazil, Argentina, and Puerto Rico. Scientists say the bugs that carry it are here in the U.S. as well. They say climate change is increasing the mosquito season here and bringing more risk for infection.
Part of Wade Avenue will close again tonight as part of the ongoing work to improve I-440. The eastbound side of the road between Blue Ridge Road and Ridge Road will be closed tonight from 10:30 and 5 a.m. That's the side of the road heading toward downtown Raleigh. Crews will be working on the I-440 bridge over Wade Avenue, and you can use Hillsborough Street as a detour. It is 4:46 on your Wednesday morning, and the moment you step outside, oh, the air feels nice. Elizabeth Carter, the WRAL Severe Weather Center. There's a difference already.
You can really tell out there this morning. Our dew point is down into the 50s, which feels very comfortable. In the summertime, when it just feels really oppressively warm and sticky, our dew points are up into the 70s. So this is a really nice feel heading out the door. 62 degrees is our temperature. We're going to hold it in the low 60s for most of us and climb to around 80 degrees at lunchtime. A nice day today. 85 in Raleigh, 83 in Durham, 86 in Fayetteville. Those temperatures are very close to normal for this time of year, but will likely fall a little bit more over the next couple of days. We take a look at our temperatures. It's going to feel really cool overnight tonight. Check that out. 52 in Roxborough, 56 Lewisburg, 58 in Wilson, and 55 in Siler City. We'll be at 54 in Sanford, 60 in Fayetteville, 59 Goldsboro, 58 in Smithfield. So that's an extremely comfortable level for the temperatures as we head out the door in the morning. And you can see how much of the country is dealing with cooler than normal temperatures. You see those blue color contours? That's where we're nice and cool, a little bit warmer across parts of the west. And we do warm up a little bit into early next week, but gosh, we have a nice stretch of some very comfortable conditions. Right now, our dew point is at 58, and so that puts us solidly in the comfy zone. We may even drop down to refreshing for Friday, and then we'll start to see that dew point creeping back up towards steamy as we get into, say, Sunday and Monday. But a really nice stretch of some lovely weather. Comfy today, almost down to refreshing for tomorrow. Comfy Saturday, and then a little bit stickier on Sunday, more humid into next week. And by next week, we're also back to a slightly wetter pattern. Definitely great for lunch outside. 80 degrees, that low dew point. You find yourself a spot in the shade. It's going to feel fantastic out there today and really all the way through the rest of the work week. Check it out. Our temperatures, we dropped to 79 for Friday. I mean, really feeling good out there. 82 Saturday, 85 on Sunday. We do get hotter again Monday and Tuesday as we climb back up into the upper 80s. We're nice and dry. Coming up, we're going to take a look at how we're looking in terms of our rainfall for May. You know, it's been a pretty wet month. We'll check it out coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. A program in Raleigh is helping girls craft a positive future. How the founder's upbringing inspired this program and the lessons she hopes to teach teens.
Plus, a solar spectacle lights up New York City. The new images of the Manhattan phenomenon.
Good morning. I'm Chris Lovingood in the WRAL Live Center. We have an update, a breaking update, in fact, from the World Health Organization that for the first time in 2 weeks, medical aid has been delivered to northern Gaza. Again, it's the first time in 2 weeks. Obviously, you know that Gaza has been under siege there and during this war with Israel. And we know that right now it seems that 15,000 liters of fuel were delivered, 14 hospital beds, medicines and trauma supplies, and other various medical equipment to Al Ali Hospital in Gaza City. And this is something we'll continue to watch to see what other things will be delivered to Gaza, as a lot of people there are still suffering during that war.
It is time to get your grill on. 5 Under Side's Kelly Arthur shares Consumer Reports must-have gear for cookout season.
It is summertime, so first, make sure you clean the grill after a long winter's rest.
Before you cook on your gas grill for the first time this season, give it a thorough once-over. Do a deep clean and look for any parts that may need to be replaced.
If it's time for a new grill, Consumer Reports testers have been evaluating grills all year and can help you choose.
For gas grills, we look at preheat performance, how evenly the grates heat up, whether the grill can cook over indirect heat, and how broad a temperature range the grill has. We also look at convenience and sturdiness for every grill.
CR also surveys its members on their experience with different grills. Weber grills consistently earn high marks for owner satisfaction and reliability, and this top-performing mid-size Weber Genesis is no exception. However, CR's tests have also found you don't need to spend thousands to get a great performing grill. While not as sturdy as the Weber, this Monument grill performs just as well for hundreds of dollars less. To keep your grill running at peak performance, you need to keep it clean. CR tried out different grill brushes to see which ones cleaned up this mess stuck on chicken skins, salmon skins, and melted cheese, foods that typically stick to grill grates the best. This metal one from Grill Daddy made light work of their messes. However, it's pricey. An alternative, this $10 nylon bristle brush also gets the job done, but you'll need to replace it more often because nylon can melt on hot grill grates. To keep foods from sticking, preheat your grill for about 15 minutes before you start cooking. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
A couple more tips for you. Consumer Reports says to always wipe down your grill grates after using a metal bristle brush because the bristles can break off and end up in your food. A damp cloth will do. If you have a grill with bare cast iron grates, use an oiled cloth.
Governor Roy Cooper has proclaimed this week North Carolina Heat Awareness Week. Last summer was the hottest on record globally, and this year is on pace to be extremely hot as well. If you know you're going to be out in the heat, drink a lot of water. Also, make a plan to stay cool. Try going somewhere with air conditioning, or take a cool bath or shower to try to cool off.
Twice a year, New Yorkers and visitors get the chance to view a unique sunset. The sun sets perfectly framed in between a grid of skyscrapers. The phenomenon happened last night. People will get another chance to see it tonight. Famed astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson first named the spectacle Manhattanhenge in 1997, inspired by England's Stonehenge. The next two sightings will be in mid-July.
That's just pretty cool. A mobile boutique is coming to Rocky Mount Mills today. Dress for Success Triangle wants to help job seekers look professional for their interviews. This is the group's second mobile unit, specifically dedicated to women looking for jobs in eastern North Carolina. The mobile boutique has clothing and shoes. It'll be at Rocky Mount Mills today from 11 this morning until 1 p.m.
A special program in the Southeast Raleigh YMCA is called SAGE. It means Saving Adolescent Girls Everywhere. The program helps teen girls discover a positive future by setting goals and building wholesome friendships. The nonprofit program promotes professional development, social awareness, and academic success. Founder Tatiana Cooper learned from negative influences she experienced when she lived in Chicago.
So I wanted to give something back to the community that I felt, I looked at myself like, what would I want as a younger girl? And so that just motivated me to help the girls that I saw myself in.
The 4-year program is for high school girls ages 13 to 18 in the Raleigh area.
Straight ahead in our 5 o'clock hour, this is a live look right now. RDU International Airport. 2 incidents involving planes happened just hours apart. We'll tell you what went wrong in both situations.
Plus, good news for parents worried about peanut allergies and their kids. How health leaders say you can reduce the risk of the allergy developing before the age of 5.